Alright, let's see what kind of stuff comes to mind when fucking with this. For one thing, the fog is the totally wrong color. Your lights are crazy colors, and that's to be dealt with, but neither of them are pink, and your fog is pink. So you got that going right off the bat. Unless you're sitting under a pink light, the fog is A, glowing, and B, pink. So right off the bat, I'd be like, let's wash this a little bit. But we'll come back to that because it's an over the top of everything kind of process. The light is too dark. I mean, these actual highlights are too dark. I'm actually seeing darkness values and not white right there in an image that's what I would expect to see. Because this looks like it has been color corrected and thus is the final shot, at which point whites should be actually blown out if that's what you're going for. And those look like they are blown out. They were photographed blown out, and yet I am seeing less than all the way blown out data right there, which reads as shitty. And that's a quick, easy fix. That would just be, you know, like a duplicate and just extract the super duper highs and put them back on top again. Yeah, right there. See? Like that. We'll kill the reds. Sorry, it's, as you can see, it's 7:30. I just woke up. So my flatness and what sounds like sarcasm, I'm sure, is literally just I'm not awake yet. So take everything in a 25% kinder spirit than it sounds. But we drop those back on top. I don't know why I'm doing this in Photoshop. It would be easier to do this in After Effects. And I get better results. But whatever. Whatever. Okay, there we go. Okay. So there's that. That already helps. Now, last light. Last light! Let's pull up some ref. How about that? Yeah, dog. It's super fucking bright. it reads as super bright. It does not read as dimmer than most lights. In fact, they are designed to compensate for the fact that the light is facing away for you by being brighter than most lights backwards. So they're never this subtle. They're never this subtle. They're always this bright. So first things first, no matter what, it should be up there in that zone. Maybe not all the way to the top, but nowhere near this low. And like I see the interactive, like I see the inverse God ray thing going on and all that, and how it's blasting light off of the A and giving some angularity. That's all great. Keep all that. Like, that's all wonderful. This is not a poorly made element. I'm just saying the comp isn't getting it to where it wants to have been. So let's crank it up. Last night, she said, oh, baby, don't you feel so down? You turned me on, and I left last night. So I turned around. And then you also have the problem of you would want something like this. And you want something like this. etc. and so forth. Break this up a little bit. Doesn't really actually matter what it's broken up like. Just make sure that the line isn't straight. Everything else reads as long as the line isn't straight. I mean, you gotta make sure it's correctly in focus. I'm playing it fast and loose right now. So you got that. At this point, I would say that the light should be casting a little bit more everywhere. Like that. Okay. Find that corner. Cool. And now, let's see what we can do about the channel lettering here. We want to see this yellow down here doing something at all. Literally just anything. But we want to see that color down here. Because otherwise, this isn't real. Let's give it a little bit of that. And this is going to be really gross. It'd be better to build this into your render somehow. Or literally just do it as a edge effect or something. Just get it there somehow. You could do it with like a find edges and then erasing it. But just get some of that yellow happening where you might see a little bit of it. And that means following shadow rules, so it probably isn't going to catch much down here towards the bottom. It'll catch all of this, though. And then once you got those there, you start selectively, like, gently editing them back down again. And it could be possible that something like down here would catch a little bit. A little bit of that. But that'll start tying things together a little bit more. And that's too much. So you would paint it on like I just showed you, and then you would probably fade it back off away, like on the away side, the trailing side. The leeward side of the light, like that. And fade off more, farther. And then once you had something like this that was kind of working, I would probably literally just use a blending option to throw a glow on there to give it some more glow. But you could do that any way you want to. For now, I'm actually just going to do it as ghetto-ly as possible. But ghetto solutions work characteristically and are ugly afterwards. And this isn't even going to be ugly. So let's try that. Get that just a little bit more spread. Bring down the satch. We do want to fill the yellow, we just want it to be, you know, done. A little bit of that. Cool. And let's take the actual yellow that it is down a little bit. Where is it? There. Oh, there it is. Do a little bit of that. Actually, you're too big. Smaller or nothing. Feel so down. Let's also catch some highlights. What the shit? God, I hate new Photoshop so much. Alright. Come on. This is hard with a mouse. Okay, there we go. All right. We do want to get some of this shit. Pick your texture, but something like this. Yeah, we can get out of that. I mean, also, hold on. There should be... that. But also... figure out any way to get some of that pavement in there. And there's a million ways to do it. I'm doing the cheap, super duper fast version. Right now I'm going to match it pink because that's where the fog's at. Yeah, there you go. Now we're getting somewhere. We're also missing interaction right here. Those look wrong up close. I am comping this from afar, so don't blame me for how it looks up close. I'm just doing broad strokes here, just so you get somewhere. And I'm gonna go too thick on this stuff, which lets you make a thin edge at one end and a thick edge at the other. Like that. And then you can break that up. First, throw a negative brush on there at like 20% and just give it a little rando. Then make it 50%, give it a little rando. And then, no straight lines. Now I'm gonna trim the hedges a little bit here. Get it down. You give yourself more than you need, so you can erode it until it looks right. Like, for some reason, I'm not feeling any right here. And I don't think we want any there either. Let's do that. That's good. And then we can bring that way down. And of course, that would mean that we would want to see a little bit of commensurate shading down here. Like that. Why did I do this with Photoshop? Whoa. Nuh-uh. Oh, god damn it. What did I just do? don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at. No. Stop it. Is it you? It's probably you, but I don't know how to get it back out of Quick Mask. What the fuck? God damn it. Fuck Photoshop. Stay the same. Shit. Alright. Come on. There's a flip that switched somewhere, I'm sure. You? No? Aha. There we go. Well, I'm not exactly sure what the shit is happening right now, but let's just hope it doesn't keep going. Okay. Fuck this, please. Seriously. I'm seriously not going to fuck with this. I'm just gonna restart fucking Photoshop because it's making me furious, and I don't want to be furious because it's 7 in the morning. Now 8 in the morning. Pool game. Come on. No, that's audition. Fuck. Ugh. Damn Murphy. Seriously, it's like Photoshop figured out exactly who they needed to be 15 years ago, and then since then they've just been playing 3-card Monty with all the buttons. Come on. No! Not like this. Alright, well, fuck it. Alright. No straight lines. What you're reacting to there is not that the shadow is fake, it's that there's a straight line in the shadow. See? God damn it. There we go. Okay. Nice. Okay. Let's take... A lot of this process is, first, you think of everything that should be there in some amount, even though you don't know the amount. And then, secondarily, you go back and dim them once they're there. You want the ingredients. Oh, oh, well, dude. Okay, here's the other thing. This is flat, huh? Okay. We're gonna do this by hand, I guess. God damn it! Pixel grid? Shit. Alright. What's our angle here? A little bit off. Okay. Son of a bitch. Where the fuck did this layer go? Why did I use Photoshop? You fucking piece of shit software that used to mean something. Fuck. Ugh. I will never find that layer. I will never fucking find that layer. God damn it. Smaller on this side. There's no channels. Can't look like 3D channel lettering if it's not 3D channel lettering. God damn it! Sorry, I get really fucking furious in the morning when things don't go my way. And using Photoshop after the year 2008, that's kind of how this shit goes. Do you want to open a pancake? No! Here, I tried to make your image for you. The fuck out of my way, thing. Oh, come on. Yeah, this I tried to salvage this from the back end, but the way to do it is to just have made them 3D in the first place. That's not really doing much for me right now, so fuck it. That was a big waste of time, sorry. But yeah, this would look real if, among other things, they were 3D and not 2D with a white thing around them. That would help. And that would also be where you would be catching this yellow and orange. Let's play with the fog now. Alright, first of all, I don't know why these are green. Unless you have a good reason for them to be green, they are not green anymore. Take your yellow. Go Hundy on those. See what color or hue does. Color's close. Hue is safer. We'll start with hue. And then we'll throw on just a color where we just mostly need it. Now they're yellow. Let's do a little bit more. I'm getting some green spill too. Bigger brush, lower opacity. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And down here. And it's a little too saturated. Let's desaturate that a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. Okay, that's better. Now this pink-ass fag. What's the funnest way to do this? Let's go with... Well, we could try taking out the blue channel. Let's see if that does anything. Oh man, I forgot. I don't have any idea how the shit this fucking tool works because they don't have any idea how the shit this fucking tool works. Alright, never mind. We'll just go... Yeah, I don't want to do color. Let's go with let's see what we can do with selected color here. Which is basically just another handle for curves. Alright, let's drop our magentas a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to later... Well, here, hold on, let's do this. Here, let me just make this crazy for a second. Oh, God damn it. Alright. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to first let's start in the magentas and roll that just a little bit yellower. That'll take some of that off. That's actually doing a lot just there. Still glowing, but whatever. And then we bring it just back from the pink a little bit. There. Let me dim it. Now, one thing fog should do, regardless of whatever else it's doing, is it should be lightening the sky. I mean, it wouldn't be doing that during the daytime, but it's night. Fog is, and mist and all those are essentially, they're fundamentally a lightning-based operation. They can occlude, but they generally don't darken. One of the reasons it looks like it's glowing is because it was probably screened on or something like that. And what I would have probably done in that case, I'm guessing, in that case what I would have done is use the fog as a matte for a gray layer. as opposed to screening on white fog. Cool. So we'll do that one, and then let's also bring up that. La 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 la. And then we can fade it down from the top because fog is low. That's really too pink. Lighten. Start there. Let's screen. It's getting a little bright back there. But I like what it's getting us to, so let's play with that and then offset the problems. Which violates one of my central premises of compositing, which is never ever introduce problems, like making this background a little bit too bright so now I have to fix that separately. Never introduce problems. But I'm also in a hurry and lazy, so we'll introduce problems. So we'll do that. And I'm literally going to bring in an adjustment layer that knocks the gamma down. Bit. Oh, wait, I don't need to do that because we already got one. And I just don't want it to get quite that dark. Fog should be more visible around lights. When you get that banding, you can usually blur it off. If blur doesn't work, try noise. Then blur. Okay, let's put all these into one big group. All adjustments. Let's see where we're at. Last light. And if that's is that a puddle? Or is that a flare? Because this would be a cool place for a puddle. And if you don't have one, let's see if we can make one. What's our angle here? It's like we're about 4 feet off the ground on a... Looks like a kind of a longish lens. Which, that may or may not be right, but that's the amount of detail we need for finding the right photo for it. That could work. Nah. I really wanted a puddle. Like that. One of those. Maybe it'll work. Well, not if the clipboard doesn't work. Good Lord. Photo? God damn. Jesus Christ, Bob. Shit, these things happen. God damn it. Sorry, I've been reading a lot of Richard Nixon quotes lately. Jesus Christ, John. God damn it. These things happen. Fucking papist. As far as I know, he never said fucking papist. It just feels right. Let's see where that gets us. I mean, the curb is going to be a problem, but let's try to snag from up here, I guess. Nah, this ain't gonna work. Fuck it. This is just the wrong photo, element-wise. I'll give it one more second. But this puddle is not important enough to keep fucking with. Well, it's pretty close. I mean, the cheap way to do it would be this. And by cheap, again, I mean ghetto, and by ghetto, I don't necessarily mean wrong. Control-Alt-Shift-E makes an entire flattened version of the layer on top, so if I had all, like, it's the whole thing as one big layer. Control-Alt-Shift-E, or Command-Alt-Shift-E. Then you grab one of these. And then you make a second one. You blur the second one. And you set it to lighten. Then you flatten it. Then you blur it a little bit more. Then you flip it. And then that goes down here. And then you bring up the gamma a little bit. Then you squeeze. Then you ripple. Then you blur again. Now, it should not actually be any wider than it was originally, but it's going to be because we're having fun. And then I make a puddle-shaped hole in it, and I invert the hole. To do that, I'm just going to do a series of horizontal lines that I will later clean up, but that'll help me stay roughly in perspective. Maybe I didn't do the gamma after all. Yep, gamma is not helping. Dip-a-dip. Nah, never mind. The angles don't line up, and it was just a fun idea anyway. I was hoping for it to be more of just a random, abstract puddle of light, but this doesn't matter, so fuck it. Honestly, the yellow is too much for me. I mean, now that we're here, I would be doing stuff like this. Roll that just a bit right, and then desatch. Just take a bit of the stank off. Cool. Now, let's double check this fog. I kind of still want to feel... And I feel... one of these guys. Split the difference on this one because they're a little bit wider, a little bit farther. And yeah, the fog ain't working for me at all. So I'm going to do a flatten trick like I just did, Control-Alt-Shift-E. I'm going to blur the whole shit out of everything. First it's just a general blur, but then I'm just going to throw it. Now let's Now, the same thing I was saying earlier about basically chasing an element until it's just gray and kind of dim. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to do that on purpose and use it as fog. I'm going to fade on a version of that version of the world where I don't care, basically. Details aren't helping you for fog, especially in the foreground. Because the foreground is where you know exactly what it's supposed to do, and if it's not doing it, you are failing a test more readily in the foreground than you are in the background. Because the background is a little bit more artistic. You can get away with shit deep in fog. It's up close that details are more likely to hurt you than help. Because unless they're the right details, they look wrong. So I would be softening them, not sharpening them. I know that's counterintuitive because deeper in fog, things get softer and grayer, but we are not fogging them. We are making them less of a thing that the viewer focuses on. We don't want them to... We want none of their attention up here, because up here is where the graininess of the fog is making it look like a comp anyway. So we're just trying to get everyone's eyes, nothing to see here, look up there. Which is not the same as fogging it, it's just, it's de-emphasizing it. And while I'm at it, no. Okay. I want this to be even, like way more even. Let's try this. It's hard to tell when it's going to be a blurring will fix it and when it's going to be a noising will fix it. But it's always one or the other. Or a combo. Well, hold on. We're not even going to use this at full opacity, so let's not go crazy fixing problems yet. I literally just want to even out the tone. I don't like how cloudy it looks, basically. Cloudy is the wrong way to get there. Cloudy means dark places and light, and the dark doesn't read. Doesn't sell. For me. But we can undo our previous dimming attempt and switch to this one instead. Ba 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 ba. What happens if I bring you on top? Okay. You can come back over here, that's fine. This fog right here just looks fake, man. There's just, I mean, it's just not doing anything. It just looks like a thing that, it looks like a card you comp on top of it. We just can't do anything about it. Like, it looks okay back here because it's kind of piling on. We can't tell what's going on with that light back there. This, like, light chunk. So maybe that's part of it, but, I mean... What is going on here? Oh, it's a Tertarier. Okay, that's a parking block. Okay. No straight lines. Okay. Just keep looking at things until you realize they look fake, and then fix them. That's basically the only thing I'm doing. I wish we saw this dumpster more. I think the fog is too heavy on it. Which... you. And I'll do that. Another gamma gag with that one. And again, we're just bringing this forward in the fog a little bit, that's all. Now we're going to have to fade it up towards the bottom because we do want to keep the fadiness at the bottom, which was a trick, not real fog. But we can do that. First we fog down. We'll pretend it's shadow. Okay. Yeah, we'll just bring it just a touch forward. And again, you have to imagine, if this place actually was a nightclub and not a, whatever the shit, dorm or church, I'm not sure, they probably would not keep the previous owner's lights if they had spent the money on this sign. They wouldn't have such weird looking lights compared to it, at which point the options would go more like this. Oh, fine. Fucking shit. It'd be more like white on purpose because they want it to be cool. And even if not, it's your movie. You can paint it however the hell you want. But this is exactly the kind of shit I end up spending time on. I'm not just picking on you, I promise. I've never, and this is going to sound condescending, and I swear to God, I'm just making conversation. I'm not reacting to anything that you did wrong or whatever. But I'm not aware of any other field, and it's probably just because I know this field that well, but I'm not aware of any other field where details matter as much as VFX. In terms of photoreal is a combination of 1,000 photoreal details. That's the only way to get there, period, full stop, forever. It's the accumulation of 1,000 photoreal details. That's what it is. That's why you can sometimes get away with a non-photoreal thing working on a big screen, but not on a small screen. Because on a big screen, you have the extra detail you could add to it. You can have like a texture that's hyper-realistic, but since it's so big in the theater, you're not seeing the whole picture at once, so you're judging it differently, and it gets away with it in the theater, and then when you see it on TV, you're like, oh, that looks like a little fucking OpenGL render. I feel that way. Go back and watch Monsters, Inc. on a small TV. Sully often looks like an OpenGL character in a way that he never ever did on screen, because on screen, on theater screen, you can see the hairs. You're looking at individual hairs. But once you see kind of through the hairs a little bit on some of those shots, you go, oh shit! It's because what was selling it to you as photoreal in the first place was some details you no longer have access to. That's basically how we control and prove the point, is when you lose access to some of those details by lowering the resolution of your screen, that's when all of a sudden you go, shit, it was the details that was doing it. Anyway, I've never found a thing that, you see, that looks cooler to me. That looks a lot better. Let's see if I can tie it down. I feel like these back guys are a little bit too excited. Yeah, we can get rid of these two. But details, and just thinking through, should light be bouncing on that? Would this be different? What would it, like, the apparent photoreality of the real world itself, that which we are comparing to, you know, the real world, is itself an infinite combination of details, and that's all. And truly, I have never gone wrong just asking myself more questions about, no, seriously, what would it be doing? Not do I want it to be doing, what would it be doing? And that doesn't just go for imagery, that goes for design. That goes for, it is incongruous that this sign is on this building because this building looks like a dorm, etc. And finding your way around problems like that. Like I would lose that window, for instance. It's just, it's not helping you. Things like that where that's not even necessarily in what you would consider your main remit as an effects artist at that moment, but it is things like that that make the real world look real, and things that aren't real look fake. It is clues in almost every case. That fucking sucks, but whatever. I think you get closer without it, to be honest, so you might want to lose it. One of the big things that's changing here is, remember when I said the fog was glowing? That means it was giving off light that it was collecting from nowhere. And we're just putting it where light is. And where light isn't, it just kind of occludes. It doesn't dim, it doesn't brighten. It just kind of prevents you from seeing details, which again was an instinct that you were fighting. I think you should turn the other way on that and steer into the skid. What else while we're here? Anything? Honestly, from a cinematography standpoint, if you were lighting this thing the way you wanted to, you wouldn't have been able to see much of this. It would have been, in terms of this is a dumb, simplified theory, but it also is the theory that artists generally follow, so it's worth knowing about. The brightest thing in the frame is what you want people to look at every time. When I'm working on portraiture sometimes, let's see if I can find a picture of a person. Do I have any picture? Look, here's my mom. And our dog Atticus, who is 6 months old in this photo. Atticus is going to be fucking large. I'm so psyched. I've never had a big dog, and he is huge. I just got back from Christmas, and he's already like, just lean over and hug him. He's that tall, kind of big. I love this dog. But this is an extreme example, but what I do a lot of the time when I'm photoshopping, or doing like a portrait thing, photoshopping, fixing photos to make them inexplicably better in a way that the audience will never know, put a big white spot on the person's face, well, the subject's face, put a medium light spot on their body, and then make a big black layer behind it, like that. Set to overlay. This is extreme. I'm going too far. They are popping forward at you now. See what I'm saying? They are currently flattened. I mean, this photo, I think... Is this the one that I finished? No, this is the raw photo. I cleaned this up for our Christmas card. And I took out the shit in the back and stuff like that. So this is raw. But usually, you want emphasis on the things that are brightest. Another way you could do this would be to multiply. Where... Pop-pop, pop-pop. Brighter means forwarder, means emphasized-er. And with that theory in mind, the stuff that's bright back there is bright because you did not control it dark. If you were crafting this like a painting, you would not have painted it bright. You would have been highlighting what you want people to notice, which is where we are, which is the establishing shot, which is, in this case, the text last light. Again, I'm fucking guessing, dude. I don't even know what the shot's for. But I'm assuming the point isn't we are in a tiny little downtown, looks like Old West downtown area with a bar. I think you probably had a little tiny, looks like an Old West downtown area to shoot in, and you're making it a bar. In which case, control it. Make it look like what you want it to look like. So I would take down, if not that dark, I would just literally just bring down a little bit of the love. Just not quite so bright, yo. It's not affecting the lights, of course. Lights are lights. But if you want it to just be like, just continued city back there, the highlights and shit aren't helping you. Just making it look like those little points of light. Just, you know, just stuff back there, but not, hey, it's 100 yards of a city. You know, just bring it down a little bit. That might even be too much. You know, but we just kind of craft it. Just kind of shape it where you want. So now this is popping out at me most. I mean, those lights are obviously popping out at me, but they help. They're directing me towards it. The sky works. I like the sky. And then at this point, if you wanted to color correct it. Alright, fine, let's try fucking autofill. There's been exactly one thing they've added to Photoshop in the last 10 years that I like, because I'm an annoying old man. But that is, I think the autofill tool is really cool. Yep. I'll allow it. Cool. Now let's color correct it. Do 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 do. Yeah, dog. A. B. Brighter. Way brighter. That's what I do. I don't mean to be a dick, and I swear to God, every single time that I'm sure I came across as a dick, it's just early, man. I'm sorry. Because this is obviously there. It's just tweaking. But those are the tweaks that I'd make. And I'll make a little GIF that goes back and forth and post it. And that'll be what you see. And what I'm saying right now, which is the most closely related to the image you'll be seeing, is at the very end of a long video that starts so different from what you ended up seeing. So it's funny how that works. Hopefully you watch this video just in reverse order, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's too early. I'm going to put on pants now.